Renaissance art book I found in a storm drain. I gave them all names.
Yeah. I'm Leonardo. I'm Michelangelo.
Donatello.
I'm Raphael.
Yeah, all the good ones, and you know.
Michelangelo.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
This is Cheapseat Reviews.
Hello, and thank you for listening to Cheap Seat Reviews, the podcast that explores the Hollywood film industry for the greater good.
Like an awesome, great, good, man.
Nice. That's good. Perfect.
Cowabunga.
Acapella. No, that's
It's not going to work.
That's not going to work.
Stop making it try to work. Yeah.
Oh, this is episode 391. 391. You know, when I was thinking about this earlier today in my intro, that phrase "hello" and "thank you for listening," I've said that for 300 something episodes, and we've long since decided that cheapskates is the name of our listeners, right? People that are fans of the show, we call them cheapskates. So should I throw that into the intro, like "hello" and "thank you, cheapskates, for listening to Cheap Seat Reviews," or is that too much?
Well, if you've never listened before, you might piss someone off inadvertently.
Yeah, I thought about
true.
that, which would both be funny and awful at the same time.
The random chance that somebody has found us, other than the two or three that listen.
Yeah.
We don't want to scare them away right away.
Yeah. Like our guest. We don't want to scare her away before we even get her introduced to the show. So this is episode 391, and tonight we're talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze. I am Sean Allred, and joining me tonight is Andrew. Why carry swords if you're not going to use them, Jemison?
You know, when I had the talk back in middle school, I totally misunderstood The Secret of the Ooze. It was
Oh my God.
It was a different conversation.
Oh.
But now that I've seen this movie, it makes much more sense.
Oh, that's gross. Okay. Sam. No, really? Nothing? Okay. Sam also has this. Usually you tell me what or to go away or something. But,
no, I'm tired tonight, so I'm off my game already.
That's
Sorry
fair.
about that.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
Your dog ate your food. I get it. Sam has his secret base. Oh, this is going swimmingly. Has his secret base at the city dump, Vector.
I mean, who doesn't, right? What a perfect spot to use your A-team skills to weld you something to kill some turtles with.
Yeah.
So, but Sean.
Yeah.
Just I need you to step into this net. Speaking of welding things to kill turtles, and I'm going to slowly bring you over using a crane.
Yeah.
And just try to randomly drop you on it, and it's probably going to bludgeon you to death before it stabs you to death. But we'll work on that.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, just real quick, in middle school when I had the talk, the city dump was. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh my gosh. She's never coming back on our podcast again. Speaking of that person who I just mentioned, making her Cheap Seat Reviews triumphant debut. This is actually a rescheduling. You were supposed to be here earlier, and we're so glad you finally made it. Is Abigail. As the only girl on this show, hopefully you will have better dialogue than April from the Mainc Pixie Weirdo Podcast.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Hey, Abigail. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm super excited for this.
Yeah, it's amazing to get guests on, and it's especially amazing to be able to get an Abigail on. I know my daughter was extremely happy to see her name in lights on the screen before this, so we appreciate it absolutely.
Thank you so much.
And those who listen, most of you know, of course, Abigail is like Twitter royalty in the podcast in our Podern family. She's like, I don't know what you would be. You're not the queen, because that kind of feel like Pixie from Next on Stage 1 is like the podcast mom. So you're like the cool aunt or something like that. But
I'm cool with that. I'm so good with that.
yeah, I think that's the way we're going to have to do it. So, all right, well, let's pull up a comfy chair and dive into this movie, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. I'm not going to say the whole thing every time. So this was my movie. This was my first film in the theaters movie. And
how old were you, Sean?
Well,
This is
gosh.
91, right?
91, so I would have been 9. Yeah. I would have been 9 when this came out. So that's about the right time. This movie, right?
Are you sure?
91?
I think you would have been 7.
No, I was born in 82.
I wasn't born yet.
I don't math.
Wait, you weren't born yet when this movie came out?
No.
Oh, okay.
You're old, dude. Man, you're old.
Dude, I turned 40 in less than a week.
Yeah.
I turned 40 on if you listen to this episode the day that it airs, I turn 40 tomorrow. If you listen to it anytime after that, I am already 40. So
that's true.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Am I wrong, Abigail? Aren't you in April also, or am I? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
See,
End of April.
I remember things, right? I remember things.
That's creepy, dude.
Is it? Oh,
No.
Okay, thank you.
No,
Fine.
Sean, you're always good with birthdays, though. Like, you're the one friend that I have that like knows everybody's birthday. So I'm like, I have to wait to see it pop up on Facebook before I can realize what's going on.
Let's be a little fair. Some of that is the Facebook thing. I'm sorry, Andrew. I don't know your birthday off the top of my head. But like Sam, you have an easy birthday to remember. So like,
oh, okay.
December 31st is kind of easy to remember.
Yeah. Well,
what Sean doesn't remember, though, is we've actually had this exact conversation once before on the podcast. So if you can tell us what episode that is, I swear to you, we've already had this conversation.
Have we? I don't remember.
He said to me, Andrew, I'm sorry, I don't remember your birthday. On that episode. Well, I don't know when it was, but I remember having
I still don't know your birthday either from then, which is bad. I'm a terrible friend. Anyway,
just dig that hole. Just keep digging the hole.
I'm gonna keep digging. That's right. When you get into a hole, you just got to keep digging your way out. Right. That's what we learned from Dumb and Dumber. So Abigail, you have a really awesome podcast, and I'm going to give you lots of time later to tell all the fine people what that podcast is, because it's a really great show, and I think everyone listening to my show should definitely go find it and listen to her show.
Cool.
Oh, I can't hear anyone. Did Skype just poop out?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Oh my gosh! I saw your mouth moving. I didn't hear you. I just got freaked out. Okay.
Well, we're just doing that to mess with you.
Yeah.
Oh, don't do that. Not tonight. All right. I'm lost. Andrew, tell us what this movie is.
The Turtles and the Shredder battle once again, this time for the last canister of the ooze that created the Turtles, with which Shredder wants to unleash an army of new mutants.
Is that what he wants to do? Okay.
Or just two.
Infant mutants. Yeah.
He did say at one point that he was going to do, in small doses or whatever. But like, it felt like when they were making the two big ones, right? Tonka and Razar, like it felt like he used a lot of that ooze, but at the end of the movie, that thing looked full.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little
it
confused.
replicates.
It does.
Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
It's science. It's just science.
Awesome. All right. Well, so like I said, I saw this in the theater. I assume that had we all seen this before this viewing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No.
No, this was the first time for you. Okay.
Yeah.
This was a must view.
I do have to say that I accidentally watched the wrong Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 first.
Oh no! Was it the Michael Bay one?
It was the one. Yeah, it was the one with like Megan Fox in it. And it wasn't until I saw like the movie poster on the Twitter account that I realized that I watched the wrong one.
Oh,
and
no.
this one was better. This one was way better.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Oh, I felt so
Yes.
bad because you did message me saying, "Hey, it's the one with April O'Neil, right?" I'm like, "No, it's the one from '91," and you didn't. I didn't know that meant you had already watched it. Oh, I feel bad now.
Yeah, I panicked, and so I messaged you.
Wow.
But you know, the funny thing is, we've done that before. We've had a podcast where one of us watched the wrong film.
Yep.
So
true.
I mean, it wouldn't have been anything out of the ordinary for this podcast.
It would have been actually kind of honestly, it would have been, I think, a little bit better. Like we're talking about, like I mentioned April O'Neil in this movie being the only woman in the world in this movie, right? And and you're like, yeah, played by Megan Fox. I'm like, no, it's played by that woman
No.
that I don't know. And you're like, oh no, because that's Andrew. Were you the guy? It was you, right? You were our guy.
It was me.
So we watched the movies Paycheck and Payback back to back, and Andrew got
No,
the
That was not a good
No,
idea.
that was Chad. I watched The Untouchables, and then there was something else that was around that time. This was back before I was even on the show, and I was guesting as a different role. And I watched I forget what it was.
Unforgettable.
Yeah, I was. But
Oh no.
anyway,
That's
it was.
what-
Yeah.
It's happened a couple times.
It's
is
happened
what
a
we're
couple
getting at.
times. Yeah, the
Yeah.
one that I'm remembering was like back in episodes, obviously in the first 100 was when Chad watched Paycheck instead of Payback. So we're talking about this gritty, violent Mel Gibson movie, and he's like, "You're talking about the one that has Ben Affleck, right?" And we're like, "No, that's Paycheck." And he goes, "Well, that's the one that I watched." I'm like, "Well, you'll be good for next week." So I was
Oh my gosh.
I was just impressed that he watched the movie. There you go.
Well, at that point, yeah, I'm there with you.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. So, okay. So you've seen both of these. So I'll be kind of interested because I've not seen the two Michael Bay new ones.
I kind of refuse to watch Michael Bay nowadays.
They're not great. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna endorse them as films. They're not fantastic. I wouldn't recommend them ever to anyone. Don't do it. Don't waste your time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Michael Bay is good about killing all of our memories from the 80s and early 90s.
Yeah, just
and
leave
with
our.
Transformers, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So
I'm surprised he didn't get his hands on Ghostbusters somehow. And
Did
Right.
did he direct those or did he just produce
I think he
them?
produced them. Yeah,
Okay. Well,
I
either way.
think, but don't hold me to it.
But I have heard that the new Ambulance movie that's his is pretty good. It's sitting pretty high on Rotten Tomatoes right now. So, but that's kind of his thing, right? Where you can do like an action chase scene, like a Bad Boys 2. Go back to those kind of things. Or 13 Hours. We loved 13 Hours. That was a good film.
Oh man, yeah.
And that was Michael Bay. So just go do that stuff, go do that kind of stuff. Okay. So yeah. So have you seen, Abigail, the first Ninja Turtles, like the first one, the 1989 one? Okay, good.
I was able to I did research. I watched all of them.
My gosh.
Good
You're like
Lord.
yeah. You've watched like seven, like that's like a Lord of the Rings movie you've watched for us. I mean, watching basically 4 movies. Well, you didn't watch the first of the Michael Bay ones for this week, did you?
No, I watched that last week.
Oh.
I watched all of them. Yeah.
Oh. Well, don't
every Ninja Turtle, cartoon, movie, TV show, she took care of it
She's
before we
watched
got
all
here.
of them. She's ready to go.
So you're a connoisseur of turtles, then I would guess.
I love turtles. They're so cute. We had a turtle in our backyard earlier. So yes.
There you go.
Did you give him a little mask and a sword?
No, we gave him some cat food. He was hungry.
Oh, I didn't know
They
you
eat
could
cat
feed.
food?
Yeah, I didn't know. You
Yeah.
could.
Really?
Oh, they'll
well, I
eat
guess they eat grubs and stuff. So
Yeah.
they would. Huh?
Need a little protein.
Never thought of doing that. Yeah.
That's very cool. See, learn something.
We
new.
had a
Thank
we had a
you.
box turtle in our backyard, and my girls were in love with it, and the neighbor kids wanted to play with it, so I let them have it. And next thing I know, it's in the bottom of their pool. And I'm like, no, get that out of that pool.
Did it-
But it was alive. It was.
Okay.
It wasn't down there very long. But
Okay.
oh man, my heart skipped about 3 beats. Well, you know, they have no idea. It's not a turtle, but still a poor little thing just sank, just right to the bottom.
Nothing like some chlorified water also to really wake you up. Oh, my God. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, bleach you.
Made it happy to be alive. That's what it
sure
was.
He was very thankful to be out of that water. That's crazy. All right. So, Sam, why don't you start us off with a 5-word review for this movie, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2?
I've got 2 here. The first one is Great Puppets, Bad Movie.
Okay.
Okay.
I kind of thought the effects, especially the splinter effects in this, were really, really good. Jim Henson almost esque puppeteering.
There's a reason.
Yeah. Oh, well, did he do it?
Well, Henson. So no, I mean the movie literally says in memory of Jim Henson, but Henson Studios did all the puppetry.
Oh, okay. Well, then there you go. That's why.
Yeah. And he was heavily involved in the first one too.
Yes.
Yeah. But my real review here is a mumbling, bumbling letdown.
Okay.
It did not hold up in my memory. I was wishing it was over from pretty much the first 5 minutes.
And it's a short movie.
It is short.
It is.
It is a tight hour and a half, man. It was great.
I just wanted it to end. You know, it's like a bad date. It's just, it would not stop. And I just, maybe I'm just in a mood because we've had one heck of a week here at my household. But I wanted to laugh and I wanted to have a good time, and it just didn't make me laugh. It's so ho-hum. There's not really any laugh out loud moments. They don't even use their freaking weapons in this movie. And it's just like, I don't know. It's just not the Turtles that I remember. And
they had cold cuts instead.
I was bored. In the movie. And I thought, I think it's supposed to be pretty laughable in parts in terms of, you know, Shredder's never really a evil genius per se. But gosh, I wasn't having fun with this one, y'all. So
okay.
That's all I got.
No, that's cool. Abigail.
I'm here for the cheese. That's what I'm here. I'm here for the 90s cheese, man. That's what I'm here for. I love it. It was great. It was so refreshing after the non-acting of Megan Fox. It was great. So yes.
Maybe that's what I needed to do first. I needed to cleanse the palate with the new one and then go back and be like, this is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I'm here for the cheese.
All right. Is that your 5-word review? I'm here for the cheese?
Yep.
Perfect. Oh, I love
it. That's it. It's just 5 words. It's perfect.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's awesome. Okay. Gosh, I'm scanning through this trivia. This stuff is ridiculous. Like I haven't read trivia in a while, but like seriously, during filming of the scene where the turtles are trapped in the net and fall to the ground, one of the stuntmen broke an ankle.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I read that.
That's nuts.
Are you reading the IMDb trivia stuff?
Yeah.
Because that's crazy. Yeah, I read all of it. It's like super long too.
Yeah, well, it usually is for these types of movies. I mean, you want some crazy long trivia? Go look up trivia on like Star Wars or Lord of the Rings. I mean, it's 300. It's 300 entries. So the fact that this one is only 42 is not that bad. All right, Andrew.
Okay. It's okay. A little too okay.
Nice.
My second 5-word review is better than the first, but not.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, you'll explain that one to me, bud.
So as a child, I remember seeing the first one, right? Yeah. And I was a huge Ninja Turtle fan. Like I had this picture is Ninja Turtle toys, which I couldn't believe because this is great for our listeners because they can't see this. But these look like real people. These are toys. The toys that we had back in the day, nothing like this. Like they looked very cartoony. But I remember when that first movie came out, I was kind of, I was kind of disappointed because I was so in love with the cartoon, and there was so much action, and there was the use of their weapons, and the first one was very dark. And so when I saw this one, a little while later, or a year or two later, whenever it came out, I thought, okay, this one's a little more cartoony. This one's a little less dark and less depressing. Raphael isn't such a jerk in this one. But at the same time, this one was almost a little too cartoony in some aspects. And so I feel like when they did this one, they were trying to market to children and they were trying to sell toys. Whereas in the first one, I mean, they were trying to do that, of course, but I feel like they might have thought it kind of backfired because it was a darker film. And so they tried to make up for it with this one. But I will say I did have a good time watching it. And now that I'm writing our Did You Notice questions, I watch all of these movies twice. And I didn't get completely bored the second time through. Some of the movies that we've been watching the second time through on the rewatch, for the little details that I look for, I get really bored. The Net, I almost hurled myself off the top of my apartment building. But this one I was fine with. I will say that the acting is a little subpar, especially from April, and I think you mentioned her dialogue, her lines are just bad. Yeah. But she's just not a great actress. I don't know what else she's been in. I haven't really looked, but I assume not much. So, oh well, maybe she's still acting.
Paige Turco.
Yeah.
She's
yeah.
Well, she's known for this movie, the third one, and then she was in Invincible, that Disney football Marky Mark thing.
Oh my gosh, was she really?
Yeah, she played Carol
Baskins.
Vermelli. She was in an episode of she's in a bunch of episodes of The 100 as Dr. Abigail Griffin.
Hi.
Yeah. NCIS New Orleans. She was
Okay, so like top notch, like top shelf.
Yeah,
she's done some TV.
Yeah, Persons of Interest, NCIS, SVU. Well, I mean, Abigail, I'm surprised you haven't been on an episode of SVU. Let's see. Yeah, a bunch of TV stuff. Well, The Game Plan, The Favor. She's done some stuff. She's fine.
So, can I ask a question while we're in the realm of the actors in this film? So, am I understanding correctly that there were actors that were in the suit, and then there were actors that did voices for the people?
Correct.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, wait, those weren't talking turtles?
Not what he's saying. Shut up.
So, Splinter. As I was looking through here, and maybe I should have just went back to look at the first movie because I didn't do that. But in the credits here, it's listed as Kevin Clash, who does the puppetry for Elmo, and I assume the voice of Elmo. But did he do the voice for Splinter?
Oh, I don't know.
Ooh.
I can't find that anywhere.
I'll
look as you.
It's a great
continue
question.
on.
Yeah, it is a good question. Yeah.
I mean, we all know the voice of Elmo, so when I saw that, I was like, no way, that can't be true.
No, okay, so I got you right here. Let's see. Michelangelo's, Leonardo, Raphael, Donatello, Shredder. They're all different. All the voices are different. Frank Welker did Razar and Taka and Razar. Frank Welker. We know Frank Welker as Optimus Prime.
Yeah. Okay, so I went back to the original movie from 1990, and it is Kevin Clash as the voice.
Yeah. So under the scroll down where it shows voices of all the other ones, but it doesn't have a voice for him. So he does it.
Yeah.
That's cool. The voice of Elmo is the Shredder. I'm not the Shredder. It's a Splinter.
Wow.
I like it.
And it's not culturally appropriated at all.
No.
By the way.
No, it's not.
No.
I do like how it's credited Vanilla Ice as Vanilla Ice. It doesn't say himself. It's just as Vanilla Ice.
That just makes me so mad. That whole thing. I am not a fan of camos of these guys in these films like that. It's just so distracting.
Cameos? He's tired.
Yeah.
It's fine. I like a good camo also.
Yeah.
As a kid though, I loved it. I thought that whole scene was like the rap was just so much fun, and
I can see like as a child like that being like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
As a child. Speaking of as a child, I will do my 5-word review. And that is, nostalgia can't fix this movie. So, I confessed to Abigail before we were recording, I've been kind of having a shit day. It started late last night when I started watching this movie. I think it's unfair. Whatever I'm about to say, I think is going to be a little unfair because I was just in a bad mood and I didn't want to watch this movie. I really didn't. When I started this thing, I was like, oh yeah, my childhood is going to come back and wash over me and make me feel good. And no, I was so angry. I loved the first one so much, and I always have to say the caveat: I loved the first one, and not just because it was filmed in North Carolina, but I liked the first one as a kid for the reasons that I think we've all mentioned. Because it is a little darker, it's a little grittier. It's the puppetry isn't as good. There's a couple of scenes where you can see the wires coming out of the turtles, where there's somebody controlling them off. The puppetry and the wire work and the like the face movement's all done with a controller off camera, and that stuff's really good. Like to Andrew's point, you're right when you said that that this is better. It's a better made movie. Yeah, but God, it's bad. Guys, it's a bad movie. And the Vanilla Ice stuff when you were a kid, you like I could remember most of the words to the thing. But
go ninja go, which is
right. Yeah, obviously the chorus is easy to remember, but like I could actually do the rap, the thing. I'm not going to do it, but I could because they play the song in the credits. No,
you can't tease us with a rap and then not do it.
I remember the line off the top of my head where he says, "Villains, you better run and hide." I don't remember the rhyme to that, but I could do it. There's just some things you just don't forget. But this, and yes, I think someone mentioned the point that this movie was tamed down a lot to sell toys, and that's exactly what happened. Basically, the first movie comes out, and at the time, up until Pulp Fiction, the Ninja Turtles, the first one, was the highest grossing independent film of all time. Because the first one was independent film. I know you don't remember this, but we talked about it when we reviewed the first one. But yeah.
Wait, we reviewed the first one?
Wait, did we not?
I don't think we did.
Oh, I could have swore we did.
I'll chalk it up to it may have been before me.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I think you're right. I think I just we didn't.
With almost 400 episodes, you don't remember what we've done.
Damn.
Or you're making memories that aren't there.
Yeah, no, you're right. I didn't do it. We haven't reviewed it. Well, gosh, I thought we did. I thought we did. That's why it was so appropriate to do the second one, because I thought we'd done the first one. Well, now we got to go back and review the first one. It's amazing.
Perfect.
Anyway, my point is that I remember very vividly. It's like one of those pieces of trivia that you just learn that it feels like everyone knows. Like when Viggo Mortensen kicks the helmet, he actually broke his toes when he screamed. It's real. It's like the first one. They made this first one, and they wanted to hey, let's make some toys. And Hasbro was like, no, your movie's too violent. I mean, Leo uses those swords on foot soldiers. Now, there's never blood. You don't see anything, but he uses them. He uses them a lot to knock people down and stuff, but he's still holding swords, and he uses them as weapons. And Raphael
want that though. I want to see them using their tools.
Yeah,
that's part of the fun.
Yeah, it is. And instead, he uses the swords for a help me out, Sam. A Lost World gymnastics kick to the Velociraptor.
Oh yeah.
And then Raphael does the sigh to catch a slice of pizza. I mean, Mikey didn't even use his nunchucks. He used cold cuts.
Yeah.
It annoyed me so much. And the new sidekick. Okay, they went from Casey Jones, who was this really interesting character, to Keno. I could have punched him in the face. He annoyed me so much.
I didn't understand like why he was there until like I watched watched the first one, and then I was like, oh, okay, so they just replaced him. But it if I had only watched the second one, then it wouldn't have made sense to me. It was like, I don't know why he's there.
I think he's a little more kid friendly.
He is.
And again,
absolutely.
they're trying to sell toys.
Casey looks like freaking a serial killer guy.
He does.
With a mask.
I mean, he is Jason. He's Jason with a hockey stick instead of a machete. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
But he's still more interesting.
But here's the thing. The cartoon that ran in the late 80s with these guys, they still had these characters using their weapons. They still had them. Yeah. They had Casey and they had all that stuff. The difference being the cartoon could draw these robotic things.
Yeah.
So it wasn't people that they were hurting.
Yeah.
So I think budget-wise, they kind of got themselves drawn into a corner where they could not show, stabbings and real big, beatdowns with those things, with their weapons.
Yeah. And you're right. You're absolutely right. The cartoon, they're using, they're fighting. The foot soldiers are robots. So, I mean, New York City must be littered with tons and tons of metal robots everywhere from that cartoon.
Well, they get them from the junkyard, obviously.
Obviously, yeah, they just build them. So the foot in this movie annoyed the hell out of me because we have the scene where Keno is infiltrating the foot, right? And he has to beat up all these other guys, and these guys that he's beating up are terrible, right? They're all like one punch and they're dead kind of guys, right? And then he has to go and do the bell off the mannequin in the thing, right? And all I could think of is these foot soldiers are so bad. I don't understand how any of them joined the thing with this test.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, how
it makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. So.
But the
rest of them got like one.
Yeah, maybe if that.
Maybe that's right. Like maybe your requirement is just to get one. You just get one and it doesn't make a sound.
Well, then why do the test? That's dumb.
Because we have to make Raph look awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like if when he's holding the entire mannequin in his hands or the bells, and the guy just kind of goes like, "Oh wow." No, they should have been in awe of him. Like, oh,
yeah,
he is the next Shredder.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of Shredder, he was useless in this movie. He annoyed me too. Like,
what a horrible way for a main villain to go out. He did it to himself.
Yeah.
At least have some strategy. Run around him so he's hitting the pillars, without knowing what was going on. Or so it just was a bad ending of this movie.
I did write that trope down, right? I put the trope down. Bad guy kills himself, or bad guy's rage kills himself. A better example of that is in Kung Fu Panda 2, where the ship has been crashed, and there's that giant cannon, and in his rage, the peacock is trying to get Poe, but Poe's dodging and doing all this, like he's participating in the eventuality,
the fight itself,
right? And then once the peacock realizes the end is near, he just closes his eyes and has a giant cannon kill him. But this one, it's like, hey, you're going to kill yourself. Whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
Keep it coming, man. Keep it coming.
Speaking of Shredder, even as a kid, when I saw the Ooze turns this snapping turtle and this wolf into these monsters, but Shredder, his armor grew.
Yeah,
like that's not a thing.
Yeah,
like you don't take this thing and then all of a sudden physics don't exist. Like,
although honestly, you saw what the turtle and the wolf, they got different looking stuff on them too.
Well, they were mostly
they were clothed. Yeah.
Yeah, but they came out wearing knee pads and elbow pads. Why? Like,
true.
Why?
Because all ninjas have to have elbow pads and knee pads.
Yeah, I also didn't understand why because they said like you picked the two most terrifying animals, right? And then that's what they picked. Like, I was not expecting those to be, because that's not what I would have picked. But, whatever. Nobody asked me.
Right. Yeah, like if you're the foot that can go anywhere and infiltrate a news organization and all that stuff, don't you think you'd break into the New York City Zoo and get something a little scarier?
Right.
We stole, Carol Baskin's tiger. That's the second reference. We stole her tiger, and here's a baboon. Like, imagine a 7-foot tall baboon that can do kung fu. That's some scary stuff.
If you think back to the cartoon, which was out before these movies, there were tons of other animals that were exposed to the ooze or whatever, and
you had the warthog guy, right?
So you had Bebop and Rocksteady.
Yeah.
Which I never understood why they didn't use those two for this film.
I don't know. The only thing I could think of, because I can't find it in the trivia, and I'm not going to do the searching now, is that maybe the cartoon invented those characters, but the movie studio only has the license for the turtle comics, and maybe those aren't from the original comics. It's the only thing I can think of.
I bet.
Because otherwise you would do that. You would put them in. As ridiculous as they would have looked, you would have done that because they're fan favorites, because they're ridiculous.
Right. But there was also, it seems like there was a tiger and maybe a panda or something. There were some other animals that I remember from from being a kid. Because I had a lot of these toys growing up.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I was a big, at least a cartoon fan at the time of these. And Lord knows I played the NES version of this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles till my hands bled.
Actually, the three of us played this, right?
Yeah. Not more than 3 weeks ago, we stood around a 4-person arcade and played the original, Turtles, and we beat it.
Yes, we beat it.
And that's only because
it was free.
It was a free play mode, yeah.
Because we should have kept track of how many times we hit the restart.
Yeah, Abigail, if we would have paid, we would have probably put $10 each into this machine to
oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was hard.
We were not very good at it.
It was a hard game anyway.
Yeah, well, it's built to take quarters, for goodness sake.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we teased it earlier. All of that pizza, is this movie insinuating that the Turtles are the result of the pizza boom in New York in the 90s? Is that what this movie is telling me?
It's that instead of rats.
Yeah.
I think this is another reason, though, that like people my age and maybe your age too, were such fans of pizza. Like when we were kids, we wanted to eat pizza because of the Ninja Turtles. When it was like pizza day at school, it was the best day ever. Of course, we had square pizza then.
Yeah, square. Did you have the square pizza, Abigail, or did you have like real pizza?
It depended on which school I was at, but yeah.
Yeah, whenever anything school lunches get brought up, my wife just walks away from the conversation. She went to a high school, and she's the same age as well, the three of us. But her school, I don't know how they did it, but I mean, like pizza day was Papa John's.
What?
Yeah,
and
it wasn't rectangular.
No, so when I mentioned the
corn?
rectangular pizza, she's never had that. She had
my God.
She had Papa John's.
Oh, she never had it?
No.
Oh wow.
She
That's interesting.
Now again, her parents owned a Jersey Mike's, so she had Jersey Mike's a lot of the times too. But like, if you were getting the chicken sandwich, they were prepared from like Chick-fil-A. Like she had real food at her high school.
Holy crap! No, we never got real food.
No.
What?
USDA certified frozen.
Yeah.
Whatever they had.
Yeah, there were only 3 meals I would eat at my high school. I subsisted. That's not a word. Sustained myself. No. What I'm trying to say?
Yeah, sustained.
Sustained. I guess that works. On the square pizza, the chicken sandwich, and the cheeseburger. That's all. Those are only 3 things I would eat there. Everything else was terrible. And then even when I became a senior and I could drive off campus, our school was so far away from the nearest thing that, in a 35-minute lunch period, you couldn't go anywhere to get food anyway. So, anyway, no one else cares.
I care.
Oh, thanks, Andrew. I appreciate that. Let's see. I didn't take a lot of notes. I know that kind of goes against my rules. I just gave up taking notes, guys. I just did.
It's fair.
Your spirit was broken.
It kind of was. So I wrote notes down like, this movie is more 80s than the original. I mean, it just felt 80s. It felt more 80s than the original. I mean, the music, and I know Vanilla Ice dates it to 91 or whatever, 92, but like, I don't know. Again, the early 90s still kind of smelled like the 80s, so that's what was going on there.
I thought that at the beginning when I saw all the different hairstyles, I was like, and then the shoulder pads, I was like, okay, so we're definitely rocking some 80s.
Yeah. I think you're lucky you missed that era with the shoulder pads. Being a tall woman that you are, I think shoulder pads would not have worked. But who knows? I could be wrong.
That never looked good on any woman I ever saw back then.
Shoulder pads.
Shoulder pads. I was always so confused. I was like, does this person play football?
They're supposed to make your waist look smaller.
Is that what it is?
Maybe I should start wearing shoulder pads.
They're supposed to make your waist look smaller.
I thought it was a masculinity thing. Honestly, I thought it was like a way because again, in the 80s, it was
the big ones, and then then the triangle shape. So it's supposed to draw your eye into the hips, and it's supposed to make your shape look smaller.
Okay. Huh. That sounds awful, but all right. I mean, it's better than the reason what I thought. Again, I honestly thought it was more of a when women are working in jobs that are typically done by men, they feel like they have to dress more masculine, so they have these big broad shoulders or something. That's maybe I heard that, or I could be misremembering it, like I'm misremembering the first episode of the Turtles that we did. Who knows? I don't know. How many dudes does it take to burgle an underground shop? Apparently 30 or so.
Well, there's a lot of stuff
all those
in there.
TVs. Yeah, there's a ton of those TVs that they needed to get.
It just feels like...
And the TVs in the early 90s were heavy, man.
It's true.
You needed 2 or 3 guys to carry those things out.
Yeah,
so
you're not wrong. It just feels like your return on investment on villains is not very high. Like, it feels like your cut's not going to be very big on this thing. Also, they're wearing those like hose faces, and then the guy takes his off to talk to like.
Right.
Okay, now I've seen your face.
The bad guys in this movie are the worst. They're just horrible.
Oh, it's so stupid.
There was one, I don't know if you saw it, but there was one that had on like, I don't know what kind of pants they're called. I didn't take karate, but the karate style pants.
Yeah.
There was one guy wearing those, and I thought, are they supposed to be members of the Foot? Are they just like thugs that actually have practiced, or maybe they shop at the Ninja Goodwill? I don't know how they got those pants or why they're wearing them, but it didn't make a lot of sense.
No, but there's a lot that doesn't make sense in this movie. Let's see. I mentioned that one. The speakers at the end of the movie, those apparently are made of explodium. Yeah, that's not how speakers work, but again, that's fine.
They do in this movie and in Back to the Future.
Yeah, but in Back to the Future, that speaker was 11 feet tall. Like, the gag kind of works, but all he does is like full volume, and then he hits a chord. Like, why does the speaker explode? That's not how speakers work. But I did appreciate this. The ponytail camera operator guy, I think he was an actual AV tech dude, because when he was holding that cable, he was doing it correctly. I really appreciated that. That's like the best part of this movie for me, was watching that dude call the cable. Like,
it was either that or somebody doing sound for the movie saw him and was like, this is how we would actually do that.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're probably not. That's actually probably a better thing, is like he's an actor and he was doing like the over the arm, over the elbow thing, like you do your extension cable. And like the boom operator was like, stop! No one would do that. This is how you do it. You're going to make some nerd 30 years from now really pissed off if you do this. Because, oh my God, I would still be talking about it. Like, the whole movie would be me complaining about that. And my last note, honestly, is Vanilla Ice is doing dockside concerts in New Jersey. Like,
I had questions about that too. I had questions, like so many.
Well, unfortunately, Abigail, none of us can answer them because none of it made sense. But as a kid, I didn't care, right? As a kid, it made sense. They were in this building. They get thrown into a concert. There's a show. They get to dance. It's fine. Though it always, even as a kid, annoyed me that one of the foot soldiers gets up and walks by the camera so that the camera has a clear shot of the turtles dancing. And I thought, wait, if you can get up, you should be back into the fight. Instead of he just leaves. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it was a mistake. I think it was just a bad edit. You know, like the editor was like, well, we don't have a take where the turtles start the dance without this foot soldier, so let's just say he just decides to leave. This movie sucks, guys. It's just so bad. Oh, okay. Did we lose Sam?
It's possible,
okay.
But we never know.
We never know. It's fine.
Apparently we did.
Yeah, we did.
And he's back.
And we'll blame it on the dog. The dog ate his controller.
Yeah.
No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
I was here. I was talking and nobody was responding.
Yeah,
so
well.
I'm back now.
All right. Does anybody have anything else to talk about? I've run out of notes. Anything else we have to say before I play clips? No?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. Time for some clips. Sometimes this sparks some fun conversation. Like, I don't know, let's do some body shaming to start off our movie.
Hey, ladies. Which one of you lucky girls gets a ride with me tonight?
Dream on, dweeb.
Yeah, okay. But when I do, I'll dream of something a little thinner.
Okay, first of all, I paused the movie. Those girls, there was nothing wrong with them. They were like average girls. So Kino's a dick. Let's just be real. Kino's a dick.
Yes.
I had to rewind the movie because I thought I like dissociated and I didn't hear that correctly. And so like when I rewound it, I was like, no, that was correct. And then I just let it play.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I think there were several things like that in this movie that as a kid that just went right over my head.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even get that.
Mm-hmm.
And in the opening clip that you played with the all the best ones end in O, talking about their names.
Yeah.
I did not get that as a kid. Maybe I was just terrible with spelling.
Sure.
But yeah, I didn't get the joke.
Okay, here's a question. I know Abigail can't participate in. Sorry, but did you guys play Turtles as a kid in the neighborhood and stuff? Did you guys do that?
Oh heck yeah! I had like the costumes. I had like a plastic turtle shell and a blue mask and the swords and everything. Yeah.
So you were Leo.
Absolutely.
Nice. You were the leader. What about you, Sam? Did you do this?
No, in the retirement home they don't let us dress up back when this came out. So.
Okay.
It was I was late, I was getting in to be 13, 14 years old. So,
okay. Yeah. Girl.
He was having a discussion with his
past
parents about the secret of the ooze.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I was
but I did have, I will say I was obsessed in grade school of drawing the turtles.
Oh.
Like I had a teacher actually have me draw, I want to say it was Michelangelo on a skateboard. To put on the wall, but I was not allowed to draw any weapons on it, so it was just the turtle and on the skateboard
with cold cuts.
So. What's that?
With cold cuts.
With cold cuts,
yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I did the same thing. So there were four of us in the neighborhood, four boys in the neighborhood, and we would all play Turtles, and I was always Leo, and I too had the swords, and one of the guys who was Donnie, he was just a broom handle. That was his staff. And one of us had nunchucks. Like when the county fair comes around and you can play the game and get nunchucks? So he had the nunchucks, and then one of the guys had two fake Walmart size. I mean, we had, though, and even the best part, we actually had a sewer we could play in. So in my old neighborhood, we had a creek that ran through part of the neighborhood, and you could, we were all of the right height that you could just kind of have to duck and go into this thing. We were not scared of snakes and stuff back then. It was fine because, the pipe was about 30 feet long, and then there was like an opening where we can kind of get in the middle. So we kind of cleaned it out a little bit. You could take little camping chairs down there, and that was our sewer den. Now, the next leg was about 50 feet, and it was pitch black. And so it was basically a hazing ritual. You had to walk it from one end to the other without a flashlight, and if you did it, then you could become a member of the team. That walk is damn scary because you don't know what's in there, and you just hope that if the snake is in there, it doesn't bite you. All right, wax on, wax off.
Hey guys, check this. Wax on, wax off. Wax on.
Mouth off.
Hey, everyone's a critic.
Yeah, okay. Now, I captured this one because at the time, Andrew, you're right. There's things that you missed. I 100% think this was a reference to Nickelodeon. All right? Here is a Nickelodeon reference.
So basically what you're telling me is you guys were all slimed.
There you go. You got slimed.
That was definitely a popular thing at that time, yeah.
I think that's exactly what that is. I think those are... this movie had a lot of references. It had a Bart Simpson, cup, where he's literally saying cowabunga. This movie had a lot of those kind of things that I keyed in on. Okay, this kind of made me laugh.
You're stupid.
Well, they're not stupid, they're infants. Okay, they're stupid infants.
Now, the part that I like the best isn't the lines, because the lines are whatever. It's when he hits the turtle with the pipe, it doesn't sound like a metal pipe hitting a noggin of whatever. It sounds like one of those big bouncy balls that are like, not the ones, actually kind of ones that you would sit on on a desk. Like imagine that is being bounced in a gymnasium. Now listen to it again.
You're stupid.
Well, they're not stupid, they're infants.
Right? That's a ball.
Kind of. Or like a wash tub, like a big metal wash tub.
Yeah, a wash tub. That's a good one too. It still sounds like a ball to me. Somebody just got hit in the face with a dodgeball.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I
One
do
of the
hear
red
dodgeball.
balls.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a sound you never forget after you get pegged in the
Yeah,
face.
Exactly. Oh, and you're the last kid on the team, and all of a sudden, you're toast.
Yep.
There it is. One last time. All right, last time.
You can only hide in the back for so long.
Right.
All right. Now, Abigail, you're new to this. Andrew and Sam are old pros at this. They know this story very well. I sometimes have a hard time understanding words. There are songs and dialogue from movies where I just don't know what the F they're saying. And this movie has one of those cases where I have not been able, for years, I have no idea what they're saying. But I watched this movie with subtitles on, so I now know what they're saying. However, I want to see if you guys know what they're saying. Did anyone watch this with subtitles on? Because am I the only one? You did, Andrew? Okay, so Andrew, you don't get to play. Abigail or Sam, did you guys watch it with subtitles?
No.
No, okay. So I now have a sounder for this. So this is the segment that I call...
What?
There we go. See, that's all it is. What? So this is they're in the fight scene in the junkyard, and Leo says this.
Step up to the bar, boys.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Andrew knows what it is.
Well, I think I know what it is, but is it the first part or the second?
Boys?
Yeah, step up to the bar. That's the easy part. Then it's the second thing. He says a word 3 times.
Step up to the bar, boys.
Libo boy.
Lipo is what I heard.
So you're closest.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I have never, ever known what they said. I'm going to play it one last time. For those playing at home, if you guys know it, you're better than, obviously, the 4 of us.
Step up to the bar, boys.
So what game do you play with a bar?
Liverpool.
Limbo.
He's saying limbo.
That doesn't sound like limbo, though.
It's said with an accent, though.
Yeah, now that you know what the word is, now...
Limbo?
Step up to the bar, boys.
You can hear it now that you know what it is. But
yeah,
I have never known what he said there.
I just figured I just read their lips. I could understand everything they were saying by reading
Going
their
away
lips.
from the camera.
So.
Stop it. So that segment was called
What?
Okay. Time. Let's see. This actually kind of made me chuckle.
I'll ask you a few more questions off the record.
Miss O'Neill, my record on the record clearly shows that I have no off-the-record record. Make a record of that.
Oh, wait.
There you go. And yeah, and I didn't capture any of the rap because I didn't want to get sued, but I did capture this one because it was in. I remember this. I remember the trailer for this movie very vividly. I remember this line specifically and the shot where the big turtle throws Donnie up and he crashes into the building. I remember those very vividly from the trailer. But anyway, this was said, so I had to capture it.
Now I know what a postal package feels like.
Oh, and by the way, having birds, that's kind of atrocious, right? Isn't that not just...
Well, again, it's cartoony.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But,
Now I know what a postal package feels like.
Hey, Mike, you okay?
Yeah. You take the ugly one.
No, you take the ugly one. I'll take the ugly one.
Oh, which one's the ugly one?
yeah, there you go.
Mm.
Before we get to our game, here's this week's promo.
Hey there, classmates. Tune in to Middle Class Film Class every Monday and Wednesday for weekly movie news, streaming picks, and one deep dive review.
The Batman trailer. There was a teaser, there was a trailer 1, trailer 2, final trailer. I don't know if it's the same one. How many trailers do we need exactly?
Leave an email or a voicemail to join in the discussion.
Bullshit artist!
Yeah, buddy.
That's
right.
You're going full Danzig. Right, I am. My trans
You
penis
have no
is
power over me.
Okay. All right. Time for this.
And now for some more bad news. Ready?
This is the part of the show where we play our new game that we are no longer calling trivia because it's not trivia. It's called Did You Notice? This is a game where basically we're going to go back and forth with questions. Did you notice? Between Abigail and Sam. Andrew's got some great questions. If you get the answer right, you get a point. If you don't get the answer right, the other person can steal the point. And take it away, Andrew.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and say this first one is pretty hard.
Okay.
You got to really be paying attention. All right.
Who's
when
going
Kino,
first?
the delivery driver...
Hold on.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Abigail's going first?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Yes, Abigail, you'll go first. If you don't get it, it'll go to Sam, and he'll have a chance to steal. Okay. So when Kino is delivering pizza to April O'Neil, at the beginning of the movie, the street name is visible on the street sign, as well as the building number. What is the address to April O'Neil's apartment?
I have no idea, dude.
Holy
no
crap.
idea.
I need to warn our guests better about this kind of stuff.
Sam, do you have a guess?
No idea.
Oh my God!
I told you this one's hard, admittedly.
Yeah.
Jeez, Andrew.
No. I would say Broadway, 28 Broadway.
So the street name is Spring Street, and then as he pulls up to her building, the number of the building is 157. So 157 Spring Street is her address. I totally expected no one to get that, so I have an extra question for this one.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So in the first fight scene, Kino and the Turtles take on a group of thieves we've talked about. 4 stores are shown during that fight. What are those stores?
Oh my gosh, I don't know what all of the stores are. There is
This is for Sam. Hang in there. This one's for Sam.
Oh,
is
okay.
it for me?
Yeah.
All right. Radio Shack.
Are you looking for the name of the store or the type of
No,
store?
no. There were no names. There were, but they were very generic. So just the type of store is fine.
Oh, it was a radio store.
There was 4.
Oh God. A radio, a TV, a stereo, and a tape store.
Those are all the same store.
All right, Abigail, you got a chance to steal.
Okay, so I only know 2. Like for sure. There was the Eats store, so like the food place,
deli,
I guess. Yeah, deli. And then the computer store, and then a not a computer store, but a like a radio store or whatever, and then a I don't know, would you call it like a gift shop or like a cartoon store or like a arcade place? Like, I don't know what you would call it.
I'll give it to you because you're on the right track. It's a toy store. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, a toy store. And I don't know.
There's one more store.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Is it a sporting goods?
It is a sporting goods store.
Oh, so they're all. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So Abigail, since you got 3 out of the 4, I'll go ahead and give you the point there.
Okay.
Oh yay! Thank you.
All right. Question number 2. So Abigail, this will go to you. When April is straightening up her apartment, she picks up items left out by each turtle. A snake by Michelangelo, a skateboard by Donatello, and some aerobic equipment by Raphael, and a stack of comic books by Leonardo. What was the comic book on top of the stack of comics?
Oh God!
Crap.
I don't know.
You have a guess?
It would have to be something they'd have the rights to.
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It was not. No. Sam, do you have a guess?
Yeah, I'm going to guess it was Swamp Thing.
It was X-Men.
X-Men.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Dang.
Mutants.
Okay.
Oh, that makes so much sense. Oh.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was thinking it was going to be a DC property because I do know that there is a Ninja Turtles Batman versus Batman crossover at some point.
Yeah.
Well,
all right.
That's Nolan's next movie, by the way.
All right, so Sam, this question will go to you. We're going back to the deli in the first fight scene. Okay. In the deli, there are 8 sandwiches listed on the menu. They cost one of 3 different prices: $3.50, $3.25, and only one sandwich was listed for $3. What was that sandwich?
That was the pastrami.
Pastrami was on the menu, but it wasn't pastrami.
It wasn't one of the one. Dang it. Okay.
Abigail?
Was it the tuna?
It was. You would think it would be, but it wasn't. It was ham and cheese. Ham and
cheese. Dang it.
Wow.
Okay.
I just remember looking at those prices and going, man, I wish.
Right?
Yeah, I know.
Right? God.
Cup of coffee for 75 cents.
Right.
Yeah. All right, so Abigail, this goes to you. When Raphael and Kino are caught by the foot at the junkyard, what does Raph say that they are actually there for?
Oh my gosh.
They're in search of a car part.
Yeah,
And I remember thinking Andrew's going to pick this one.
I remember
this one.
It wasn't a muffler. It was a. Was it?
Yes, it was.
It was?
Yeah.
But it was like to an 83 something.
No.
Nope. I'm cheating here.
52 or 57.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't get
Mustang? No.
It was
no idea.
It was a muffler for a 57 Chevy.
57 Chevy.
That's right.
She gets points for the muffler.
Yeah, we'll give you points
she
for that
got
one
the
too.
muffler.
Even though I was
absolutely
sort of cheating.
All right. So it's 2-0, and we got one question left. So Sam, this is for you. When April is talking with her boss and she wants to continue the story about TGRI, he wants her to do this story instead.
Oh, this is, of course I'll remember this one. It was bikinis of the 90s.
Swimsuits of the 90s. Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
To which she says, really? And he goes, I'm intrigued.
So, Abby, you came away with 2. Abigail, sorry, you came away with 2 points, and Sam has 1. So you're our winner.
Awesome!
Yay! I sort of did it.
So in the past few weeks that we've been doing this, I've been kind of assigning people as winners that follow and retweet and whatever. Only one person has come forward to claim their prize, so I don't know if we're going to keep doing this or not. So I'd just say let's just do it for the fun of it at this point, and I'll find ways to give people stickers other way, which is fine.
I've been actually using our stickers as pasties now when I go out. I don't know if that's okay, but I have.
I don't care. You do whatever you want with them. Man. They're your stickers.
It eliminates.
You do you.
That's right.
Yeah, it makes a good outline in my tanning booth.
Sure.
I bet.
I can give you the buttons. We have a button you can pierce yourself and have it right there.
Oh dear God!
How do you know I'm not already pierced?
Hot.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Like you could put it in there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. time for this.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Top 3. Oh my gosh, that trivia or that Did You Notice game was hard. Top 3. So we're just going to do, I titled it, or originally I said 80s and 90s ninja movies. I'm just going to say any ninja movie because once I did a Google search for 80s and 90s ninja movies, there's not a lot. So any movie that you've ever seen that has a ninja in it, it counts. And I will let Sam go first.
Oh, okay. My number. I have to preface this with I apparently don't like ninja movies, and I haven't seen a whole lot. So it might be a genre I need to up my game in. But my number 3, and you'll notice with my 3, Beverly Hills Ninja is my number 3.
Okay.
With Chris Farley. Number 2 is the original Mortal Kombat. The new one's okay, but I like the original one. It has nostalgia for me.
Sure.
And then my number 1 is Jurassic Park.
I love her face, Abigail.
And since I figured there would be a big to do about picking Jurassic Park and my Ninja Dinosaurs, Kill Bill would be my second choice. Number 1.
It's fair.
I mean, the Velociraptors are pretty stealthy. Let's not.
Right?
Yeah, they are pretty stealthy.
Yeah.
I mean, they all but use smoke to disappear.
Yeah. Actually, the most stealthy ninja in that movie is the T-Rex.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that he can get in that building with no one seeing it is pretty impressive. Sorry, she. Abigail.
Oh my goodness gracious! Can you come back to me?
Yeah.
Because I still don't know still know all my 3.
No, that's fine. I'll go next. Sam said Mortal Kombat, so I guess I could keep that on or take it off. I don't know. If we're opening it up to all ninja movies, I will say that they're pretty brief, but there's a pretty cool in the movie Last Samurai. There are ninjas in that movie, which is kind of neat.
Yeah. Well, doesn't Spock have a pretty big ninja chop that he does in the neck?
It's not a chop; it's just a pinch. It's just the Vulcan neck pinch.
I thought he would chop people in the neck.
No, but Kirk would do he would like make the two-handed fist whatever, and then do the down whatever like.
Yeah.
They even make fun of that in the Lower Decks cartoon, which is pretty great. They make fun of that. So I'll just stick with Mortal Kombat. Bloodsport is my number 2, and my number 1 is Sidekicks with Jonathan Brandis and Chuck Norris.
Don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh,
yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, it's
Jonathan Brandis. Yeah, that's a classic from my childhood.
It's a coming of age story. It's a kid that doesn't have a lot of friends and has asthma. He meets a wise sensei and he teaches him how to, do karate and stuff, and then eventually somehow befriends Chuck Norris. Like as Chuck Norris. He's not playing a character. He's playing Chuck Norris in the movie. All right. Abigail, you ready? Or do I need to move on?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, go for it.
So I don't really know. I'm really slacking on my ninja movies. So I only have 2, and I'm really sorry.
No, it's
because I've only I haven't seen very many. So American Warrior or oh my gosh, where did it go? The Octagon. I've only seen those 2 ninja movies, so those have to be my favorites.
That's fine. That works. It is kind of a weird topic. It is interesting that there's not as many. I mean, if you do Kung Fu, there's 10 million Kung Fu movies, but ninja type movies are not as whatever.
I had to pull up a list, and I was scrolling through the list, just going, "Oh my gosh, I haven't seen any of these."
Well, you've seen a bunch of Ninja Turtle movies.
Yeah, that's true.
You've seen all of them, in fact. Did we not? I could have swore we did the cartoon Ninja in TMNT. I would have bet money we did that.
I think that actually makes it's bringing back some.
But I did
some memories. This was again before I got here because I don't remember actually watching that movie for the podcast, but I do remember there was some discussion about it or something.
I know I watched it with the kids, but I'm just trying to think, did I watch it with them just to watch it, or did I watch it with them for the podcast? But
it may have been one of those that was supposed to be an episode, and then they pulled it before we could actually all watch it or something.
That's possible. I mean, I'm doing a search on our sheet, TMNT, and the only one that's coming up is this episode. So, and if I even type in ninja Nothing.
Mutant or anything doesn't pop in anything.
Yeah, even teen just gets nothing. Well, it's one category for teen. So, all right, I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Andrew.
All right. Well, I have number 3. This is kind of a cheat, but I'm going to use it anyway. Batman Begins, as he is really getting that ninja training with Ra's al Ghul.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. And then number 2, I have another nostalgic movie from my childhood called Three Ninjas.
Yeah.
And then number 1, an even more nostalgic movie from my childhood, which I still love today, even though it's a completely trash movie.
Surf Ninjas.
Yeah. Surf Ninjas has this guy that plays Kino as the main character, right?
Wow.
Yeah. The only thing I remember from Surf Ninjas is that oh my gosh, what's his name? You can do it. What's his name?
Schneider.
Yes, Rob Schneider is in it. And I don't remember why, but
he's like the friend who just kind of got brought along on the journey with them.
Like he doesn't know any of the martial arts or whatever, but there's a part where he's in a wheelchair. He's pretending to be in a wheelchair, and he screams down in this weird Scottish accent, "Don't make me come down there and beat you with the leg that no longer works." I remember that. That's the only thing I remember from that entire movie is that one line.
It's a terrible movie, but I love it.
It is a terrible movie. Only a few entries in Twitter. Again, I got this out a little late today. Sincera says the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then he did MMPR, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Okay, got it. And then Double Dragons. Oh my gosh, Double Dragons. That's a movie we should do for the podcast. That is a hot pile of garbage. And then Jesse from messaging from his other podcast, Open Pike, is a Star Trek podcast. Bloodsport, the Power Rangers movie, and the Three Ninjas. So again, there's just not a lot of movies. A lot of ninja movies. That's it. Okay, time for this.
Wait, what's supposed to happen?
This is where we now give this movie a score from 0 to 10. 0 being very bad, and 10 being something that's not going to be this movie. And Abigail, you can go first.
I'm going to give it a 5 because it was so much better than the one with Megan Fox in it. So it exceeded all my expectations.
Okay, nice. Andrew.
I'm also going to give it a 5 backflips.
Nice.
Out of 10.
Nice.
But are you really doing them, or are you going to have to restart?
Well, I'm going to do like Michelangelo and just kind of jump and clap.
Solid.
As you should. Yeah. That bit, man, that bit made, as a kid, I laughed every time. I don't know why. That part was funny. Sam.
Give me a 4.23 out of 10.
All right.
Didn't like it. I was bored.
Yeah. I kind of want to be mean to this movie, but I'm not going to be. But I'm too with you. Like, I've had way more fun having this conversation than any point last night watching this movie. I just didn't care at all either. So I'm going to give it a 3. 3.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know what even to give it. 3 ninja kicks to the face, whatever. You know, the guy that was like the second in command, he had like one line in the whole movie, and everything else was just grunts. I felt bad for him as an actor. Like, can you give me something to do? Like he's like in the first movie, he's this badass, and in this movie, he gets squished by the 4 turtles and he dies. Right? Like that's the end of him. He sucked. I feel bad for him. Okay, that's it. That's the show. That's right. That's it. Right. Andrew's on his part. Yeah. Again, I'm so used to forgetting Andrew that it's weird that I don't forget him. Abigail, please tell our listeners where they can find your show because it's awesome.
Oh, absolutely. So you can find me anywhere where you can get podcasts. The best way to reach out to me is through Twitter at MP Weirdo Podcast, or the TikTok and Instagram is the _main_weirdo1. You can also reach out on the email. So that's manicpixieweirdo@protonmail.com, or the website. You can leave me a voicemail message at manicpixieweirdo.podcast.com.
Awesome. Well, you did that in like 4 seconds. You've said that many, many times, I bet.
Yeah.
One of Abigail's hidden talents, and by hidden I mean it's kind of her primary source of income, is you do like reading for like books, audio books and stuff like that. And
oh, cool.
Yeah, and I've listened to a little bit of one of your books, and it's awesome. You just have one of those voices where I could just listen to you read the phone book. It's just really, really cool. So,
oh, thank you.
Do check that out. So I'll post links to your socials and stuff in our show notes. But again, Abigail, go follow her if you're not already. She will. She's like the second most supportive person on Twitter ever. Because Pixie, I think, kind of feels like she's like the number one. Again, you're the.
Yeah, for sure. I'm the cool aunt. I'm so good with that.
Yeah, you're the cool aunt. We need to make sure we put that on Twitter. All right, I want credit for giving you the cool aunt moniker. I like that. If nothing else from this bad movie, we got that cool thing. All right. That's it. That's our show. Cheapseatreviews.libsyn.com is our website where you can go and listen to all 390 other episodes. We just released a bonus episode, my interview with Tucky Williams, the director-actress. Go check that out. It's on the main feed. Also, if you want to see me interview her, it's on YouTube. We do have a YouTube channel. I just don't ever put content there. But it's on YouTube. So you can go watch me interview this actress. And it was very fun. Spoiler alert, we talk about Star Trek a lot. She's a huge Trekkie, and so am I. And frankly, the best way to consume this episode actually is through YouTube, because she pulls a lot of her some props and some Trek memorabilia. It's kind of more fun to watch. So do that. Go there, cool. YouTube. We don't have enough followers yet, so I could say youtube.com/cheapseatreviews. We don't have enough subscribers yet, so it's you're going to have to search for it. I apologize. Or go to our website or Linktree. Either one of those will have the actual link there. Also, leave us a review on iTunes or Spotify or where else? No, those are probably the two main ones. Leave us a review there. It'd be great. We've had some people leave us reviews recently, and it's awesome. Reviews help us.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the show. I have nothing more to say. So next week we are going to be doing The Little Mermaid. That's right. The Little Mermaid with our special guest, Lady Wan. She's come back on to discuss The Little Mermaid. So excited. That was her first film in the theater. She got to pick. So that's what we're doing next week, The Little Mermaid. So on behalf of Abigail, Andrew, and Sam, this is Sean saying thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you all later, you bunch of cheapskates. There. I worked the way in there.
This is Cheap Seat Reviews.